Misinformation, lies, treachery everywhere. Thank God George Soros has finally started a corporation to stamp out this misinformation. George Soros, that's what's needed here. He'll get the truth out there. We can relax. Hello there, you 4.5 million glorious angels descending down from on high, here to the material plane to enjoy content like this. And while you're here, why don't you come see me in the UK between January and May, performing live all over the gaff, particularly in early February. I'm in Hammersmith, London. It'll be a fantastic night. Come along. There's a link in the description. And all of that stuff's true. And we know that because disinformation and misinformation is finally being stamped out thanks to George Soros. Let's see how. Alexander Rubenstein, writing in the Grey Zone, says, in October, Billionaires, already I'm on board, because who better to bring a objective, unbiased worldview to the common person than those friends of truth, Billionaires. Reid Hoffman and George Soros launched Good Information Inc. What is this childish Sesame Street back of a breakfast cereal box crap? This is good information. A public benefit corporation. Because another thing we know about billionaires, that everything about their being tells us is they care about everyone. That's why they accumulate billions to care about others with. A public benefit corporation to serve as a conduit of funds to newsrooms that cut through the echo chambers with fact-based information. Oh yeah, echo chambers, eh? Fact-based. Whose facts? On its website, Good Information describes itself as a civic incubator aimed at fostering and financially backing projects that counter disinformation where it spreads by increasing the flow of good information online. That's such Huxley-esque news speak, isn't it? That. This is good information. I'm sorry, Alex. If you keep talking all this bad information, you're going to have to be punished. But more than merely providing an alternative to bad information through their own reporting, the company suggests that censorship is also on the menu. Oh yeah, well, if you're going to get good information out there, stands to reason. You've got to censor all that bad information. And let's not worry that bad information might be information that negatively impacts the interests of powerful people, that good and bad might be categories that somewhat shift depending on your own intentions. And if your own intentions are evidently accrue billions, information that spreads billions, breaks down power structures, could be considered bad information. Don't worry about that because look, it's called the Good Information Inc. When did you become so cynical? We believe there's an urgent need for regulation of social media platforms, their website states. Yeah, because it's weird, isn't it? Because social media means that anybody can join in with a voice. Anybody can talk. Anybody can create news. When it should be sanctioned people, corporations, people in suits and ties, corporations that are owned by other corporations that have interests in other industries. That's what you want. A club of elites coming together to aristocratically determine what's good for you. You don't know right from wrong. If you're allowed free speech, you'll just sit there all day being all racist and sexist all on the internet. Oh, I've got free speech. I can do some racist, sexist down there. Admittedly, racism and sexism are problems. But I'll tell you a problem that's also in the air that maybe George Soros don't care too much about. Billionaires taking all the money, taking all the power, creating a homogenised, empty public space where ordinary people of all colours, genders, varieties don't have enough power except to squabble with one another over issues that won't ultimately affect the interests of the powerful. And what exactly is good information? The company provides another clue that the good information resides exclusively on the pages of established media outlets. Oh, yeah, because you've never thought, have you, for a moment that established media outlets might let you down because of their allegiances with their advertisers, because of their relationships with government and big business, because they are parts of conglomerates that spread the globe and have all sorts of shared interests. No, they're a reliable bunch. That's where you get your good information. Pages of established media outlets with billion-dollar budgets lamenting on its websites that 185 million Americans don't trust traditional media. Oh, why would that be? What's wrong with you guys? You just don't trust traditional media. I think the best thing to do is to censor you until you do trust traditional media. Maybe if we take away your voice, then you'll have no choice but to trust traditional media. And then the problem will be dealt with. And we wouldn't have to look at corruption and the relationships between advertisers and the broadcasters that they advertise their products on, or the relationship between lobbyists and the Congress people that pass favourable laws for those corporations. We can just shut you up. Billionaire philanthropist lover of humanity. George Soros has weaponized his vast wealth in support of US foreign policy for several decades. Following the collapse of the Soviet Union and later the unravelling of the socialist bloc in Eastern Europe, the Washington Post celebrated Soros as a member of a new network of overt operators supporting pro-democracy activists and media operations in place of and alongside the CIA. Anyone that collaborates with the CIA is obviously a friend of democracy. Why? You only need to look at the CIA's activities in Latin and Central America and South America to see how seriously they take democracy. Soros has sponsored warfare campaigns against designated US enemies from Hong Kong to Syria to Russia. Having sponsored the activities of many thousands of pro-US activists abroad, Soros is teaming up on Good Information Inc. with Reid Hoffman, a fellow billionaire with his own track record of political meddling, to train the sites of information operations back on the United States. During the 2020 Democratic primary election, Hoffman bankrolled a dark money outfit called Acronym, also funded by Soros, which launched a dysfunctional digital vote counting system, Shadow app, that helped upend Bernie Sanders' apparent win in the Iowa caucus. Bernie Sanders is evidently bad information because they were willing to upend his apparent Iowa caucus victory in favour of the result that they would prefer through good old Shadow app. The Good Information website is capitalising on the buzz that surrounded the Facebook files leaked by Frances Hogan. In announcing the launch of Good Information, lead Tara McGowan tweeted, "The broken divisive information ecosystem in which we find ourselves today is an all-hands-on-deck challenge for American democracy." One thing that the hashtag Facebook papers make abundantly clear is that bad information flowing online is one of the gravest threats that we face as a society, she added. Despite this, Reid Hoffman himself has invested in Facebook. Hold on a minute, if you think that this place where bad information flows from and your main job is you want to create good information, don't invest in the thing that's creating all the bad information. Otherwise, what people might start to think is you don't care about good and bad information, you care about information that's favourable to you and making money. Good information. I don't like this language. I don't like that baby talk. Good information, bad information. Good information. That's bad information. Oh, bad information. When something calls itself something that blatant, I always think the opposite is true. Good Information will acquire Courier Newsroom from Acronym for an undisclosed sum, Axios reported. Courier Newsroom is uniquely equipped to fulfill Good Information's mission statement of cutting through the echo chambers with fact-based information. At the time of this article's publication, the top story from the network featured on their website instructed readers on the right way to eat candy corn. Yeah, that's good information, because what I find during this pandemic and the accompanying regulation and the ubiquitous culture war and the doubts around ecology and economy and inequality is like, how do I eat candy corn the right way? I mean, yeah, I can eat it, but am I eating it the right way? Won't someone please give me some good information? Oh, there is candy corn in my eye holes. The seemingly banal story was in fact of a cynical strategy McGowan has honed on Facebook and other social media sites: spin out media outlets in swing states with seemingly local flavour, draw in unsuspecting audiences with clickbait articles, then mobilise readers ahead of elections with aggressive political content. Oh, you vicious bastards. That's exactly what you think they're doing. Do you worry about the right way to eat candy corn? Yeah, I do. I'm just a lovely guy just trying to get through life eating candy corn. Right, good. Listen, only vote for these bunch of bastards, won't you? Was you going to vote for those guys to think they know how to eat candy corn? No, it's these guys. Lovely old Joe, Hillary, all them. Hey, look, we're eating candy corn good. Oh, I got a wrong hole. Oh no, Joe's choking on candy corn. The irony. Here, come here. He'll be okay. He'll be okay. Good Information is much more than another partisan op. It's a domestic echo of the aggressive information warfare operations that billionaire activists like Soros and mogul Pierre Omidyar have sponsored abroad, usually alongside US intelligence cutouts in the service of imperial goals. And this time, the target is the American public. Glenn Greenwald writes, Hello, Glenn. So often what is meant by harmful speech that needs to be curtailed is the byproduct of highly ideological and political frameworks. We should not allow power-hungry schemes of political censorship to be rebranded as noble campaigns for public safety. It's just nonsense, isn't it?
Hello, we're the good information people. We just want you to eat your candy corn the right way, and to make sure also, as a side note, that you only ever vote in favor of our interests while you're eating your candy corn, which remember, we're the guys who told you how to eat that the right way, so you wouldn't want to upset us, would you, with the bad information? Ah, bad information, bad information!
And if we're going to have real debates about what is and what is not harmful content that must be banished from the internet under the penalty of criminal prosecution, then that should at very least be a collective judgment, not one dominated by a tiny handful of multi-billionaires who use their bottomless wealth in the dark to shape society to conform to their ideological preferences and other interests. Multi-billionaires already wield far too much power as it is. Yeah, you've got too much power. But could I have some more?
What if I helped you to eat your candy corn properly?
Multi-billionaires can and do buy television outlets and finance media companies and single-handedly create powerful NGOs and advocacy groups to control public debate. There is virtually no limit on their ability to dominate political debate except one: the internet. As they know, is one of the few tools, arguably the only one, that can level the playing field, that can allow non-billionaires a fighting chance to be heard above the systems they erect and control. The absolute last thing we should want or tolerate is for those same billionaires scheming to control the internet to eliminate the last vestige where dissent and free thought that is not subject to their oligarchical control can still thrive. There you go. Glenn Greenwald there, that enemy of democracy, standing up against good information. Bad information. So, what do you think about George Soros and his good information versus bad information campaign? Do you think that when issues of regulation come up about the internet, that the regulation is always about impeding your free speech, not about impeding the ability of big tech to capture your data, sell it to advertisers or give it to government or use it to cajole and control you? Where do you sit on this complex debate? Let me know in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so we can communicate continually. If you enjoyed this video, have a look at this one, it's almost as good. And why don't you sign up to my Awakening side channel where you can learn to meditate, get yourself a little bit of the old inner peace rocking along. Sign up to my mailing list as well so I can tell you what I'm thinking, what I'm reading, what I'm up to all the time. And if you're in the UK between January and May, come see me, particularly in early February. I'm at the Hammersmith Apollo. It's going to be fantastic. See you there. Stay free.